Is Tuesday. Sorry, took me a second. um, Tuesday and 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Boy, I'm out of it. 6 18/24. June 18th, 2024. 2 days away from summer. Summer is sometimes on the 21st, or the solstice, sometimes on the 20th. I'm not sure how that works. What I do know is meteorologically, summer begins the beginning of June, um, as that is when the trend is heading in that direction. So that's when science says is the first day of summer. Same with the equinoxes, always on the first of the month. Fall starts in September. Now, astronomically, we go by the solstice as well as going by the Gregorian calendar. For me, that's more. I love the thought of having a season come early. Most specifically, I love the thought of spring coming earlier. So March 1st is spring for me. However, I love the solstice. I love the energy of the solstice as well as the equinoxes. Give me a second, guys. I see that our friend Mayhem Miracles is live. If anyone is here and they are growing their channel, if that's an interest or a priority, and it was for me, it still is for me, it's something to consider. Show up, Mayhem and Miracles, with the attitude that you are there to help other people and see what happens. For me, it was like hitting the go button. It was Maja at Mayhem and Miracles as well as James Geit. It was like, again, hitting the go button, that everything just skyrocketed. Months and months of, I'm going to say struggling, but guys, if the worst I struggle is trying to get subscribers, watch hours, then my life is pretty blessed, which of course it is. But putting it in that perspective, that it was a struggle to grow a channel. I think maybe especially for me, because I do weird stuff and I talk about weird stuff, and not everyone is interested in hearing or participating in weird stuff. Which reminds me to give a shout out to our friend Leo Sidso. He's got a great burpee channel. Devoting your exercise program to burpees. That's pretty weird. In a good way, because it's a great exercise. It's a great movement. Somewhere along the line, I wanted to take a more yogic approach to my burpees. So I started doing it exclusively nasal breathing, which makes it harder, which makes it weirder, of course. And our friend Leo jumped on board and gave it a try. That was yesterday, and he came back today and said there's just something. It turns it into a yogic approach. It turns it into a meditative approach. We are nose breathers by nature. In yoga, they say breathing is, the nose is for breathing, except for when we're eating or extremely, extremely strenuous working out. Now, I find even strenuous, I'm doing AK nose breathing, because I'm not striving towards the finish line. Now, if I was racing, then I might do some mouth breathing. Or if I was seeing how many burpees I can get, then I might do the mouth breathing. But I'm not doing that. So, Joe Delaney is here. Joe says, hello, Yogi. Joe, how are you? Joe says, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you as well. I'm having trouble speaking today. A while back, when things were a little wild and woolly on the live streams, I introduced the Love Tuner. It's a gift I got from Mocha a while back. I had wanted one for a while. It was endorsed by Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra, I'm a certified meditation teacher through the Chopra Foundation. I started practicing primordial sound meditation, which After Deepak Chopra left the Transcendental Meditation movement, he went back to India. He studied and talked with the rishis and the seers and sages, great yogic masters, um, and brought back what he thought was a more purified form of mantra meditation. And that's what he started teaching. And that's what I learned. For me, it's been an invaluable practice. I've done it for almost 30 years. I've been a teacher for several years. So when he endorses a product, I tend to take notice because he was well off as a doctor. He's written several New York Times bestsellers. He's a wealthy man. He doesn't have to endorse anything if he doesn't want to. I have found him to be a person of integrity, honesty. He's a yogi. Not that all yogis are, any started thing, but you practice one of the foundations of yoga and the yamas, the personal restraints that we practice, is truthfulness, non-lying. Let's see. Joe says, when I started learning to work out, literally had to learn to breathe through my nose. I never realized it was something I didn't do, nor did I realize it would be something I had to focus to learn. Probably, I think maybe most people might be a mixture. Just life, stress, all kinds of stuff sort of lead us towards breathing through the mouth. So maybe more people are mouth breathers. Let's see. William's here. William, how are you? William says, hello, Yogi. Boo Boo here, watching you. Just Boo Boo doing shoulders in his garage. That was a good workout, my friend. Let's see. I want to bring up my desktop. So yeah, retraining yourself. What I did, sorry guys. What I did was I taped my mouth shut at night. I don't do it anymore, but I did for an extended period of time to make sure that I was constantly mouth breathing. And then when I was doing burpees, because I was pushing for reps, I noticed that I was breathing both nasally and through my mouth, but I wanted to focus exclusively on mouth breathing. So that slowed me down. That meant I got less reps, but I made it into a more mindful movement. I made it into something that fit into my yogic thinking of what I wanted it to do. So, hey, that's awesome that you made that focus, Joe. And if you check out Leo Said So, see if I can find his channel. And I'll drop the link, although I don't know if everyone can find it. That's what Leo discovered, that for him, it brought something special and unique. Not to mention that nasal breathing as a whole is better for you, more beneficial physically, as it acts as a filter. We're filtering out all the harmful stuff, but as well as emotionally, that we tend to stay more in the parasympathetic nervous state as we breathe through the nose. We're less likely to have those big moods from fight or flight back to rest and digest. And if we do, we can always refocus on the nasal breathing to bring us right back to that sense of peacefulness. William says, I'm going to be here by cleaning and listening to you, buddy. I appreciate that, William. Destiny's here. Destiny says, hello and blessings to just a yogi doing burpees in his basement. How are you today? I'm doing good. I hope you are as well. So, yeah, I was very impressed. I'm bringing his channel up right now. I'm going to bring up the video. Very impressed that a lot of people have tried like the nasal breathing burpees and then said yeah, it was a great challenge, but I'm going back to regular. Um, Leo came back on day 2 for no reason, no challenge. He explains why, and it was awesome to see. Very impressed. So I'm going to drop that link. I don't know if it's going to work, but at least, you know what? I think it puts his, well, we'll see. You guys can let me know. So I was talking to our friend Bumblebee T on briefly, just messaging. Let's see. Destiny says, I dedicated a video to you today. Thank you for your amazing work. Well, thank you, Destiny. I appreciate that. I will be there as soon as we end that live session. I will be there to watch it. Hey, let's see. If anyone is not subscribed to William, William works out in a hot garage in Phoenix, Arizona. I was going to say in the middle of summer, but I guess we're right at the beginning of summer. And he puts in the work, he puts in the reps, he has a good conversation, he answers any workout questions. He's just, I think, 2 years younger than me, and it's good to see that wisdom. It's good to see someone that's come up through the trenches and is still doing it. So if anyone's looking for good advice, not just for an older athlete, but if you want to one day be an older athlete, that's the important thing. A lot of young people were like, well, look at that when I need to. You need to now, because you want to be able to do the stuff that you're doing now when you're 57 years old or when you're 59 years old. Let's see. Eric Lapointe is here. Eric, how are you? So we're going to talk just a second for our friend Bumblebee T, as she got the Love Tuner, which is something that I demonstrated a while back. Like I said, when things were a little fractious on the live streams. For me, never so, but there was people doing all kinds of stuff. I just tried to ride it through. Not interfering, letting people work through their own, let's call it everyone working through their own karma in their own time, in their own way. And I focused on the thing that I could do, which is return to my center, return to peacefulness over and over and over again. But one thing I did at the beginning a couple times was use a little love tuner, which I got from Milka as a present. As I said, I wanted it because it's been endorsed by my meditation teacher, Deepak Chopra. It is set at 528 hertz. That's the frequency. And that is the frequency of the heart. It's the frequency of love. It's a little tool. It's a mindfulness tool. And what you can do, it comes with a little chain so you can wear it around your neck. It's great if you go into doctor's appointments, if you're making an important phone call, if you're going into a meeting and you just need something to set the vibes right, set the tone right, get everything vibrating in unison, the heart and the mind. And then you approach your day. Instant meditation. This is what it sounds like. If I get it right. That's all you do. I do it 6 times. I just breathe in. I usually keep it in my mouth. Breathe in through my nose, exhale through my mouth. 6 times, and it's an instant meditation. It's best, close your eyes, focus on the sound. It's not meant to be a sound for others to enjoy or not to enjoy. It's meant to set the vibrational tone, again, of the heart and the brain, coherence. More and more neuroscientists are talking about the value of coherence, meaning that we're vibrating in unison, that the field of the heart, the electrical field of the heart and the electrical field of the mind are in unison. That's what the Love Tuner does. It's a valuable little tool. And it was a wonderful gift from Mocha. This was a while back. Just because that's the kind of stuff that Mocha does. So, I don't sell it. I don't make any money off of it. I don't even know where to buy it except Google Love Tuner. But it is a worthwhile thing, especially if you are someone like T, or if you're someone like Destiny. It's a great, someone who's musically inclined and recognizes that the vibrational healing potentiality. It's a good little tool. So that's enough of that, guys, because I'm really behind. I see Flower is here. Flower, how are you? Nice to see you. Are you well rested? Goldie is here. Goldie, my friend, how are you? Goldie says, hi there, lovely people. Hello there, lovely Goldie. Goldie has a video of the live stream, not the live stream itself, but a video of the continuation of her walk. So if you enjoy a walk in Transylvania, check it out. Joe says, I saw you you used that before and didn't know why. Thank you for explaining. You're welcome. Sometimes we need that little extra tool, you know what I mean? That little extra thing to help us. And we can't always find a quiet place to meditate. Although if you've been meditating for a while, you don't necessarily need a quiet place because you have the interior of your mind that you can always retreat to. This and breath work amazing. I've explained before that for me, I think you get 90% of the benefits of meditation simply by doing breath work. That you can literally change your physiology and emotional state in 10 breaths. It works faster than medication. If you're suffering from anxiety, if you're suffering from stress, if you just, you find that you have a tendency to swing up or crash down because of outer circumstances. People know how to press your button. Sometimes they do. Learn how to erase your buttons. Make yourself buttonless. I declared on live stream, this was a while back, that I was bulletproof. That trolls can't affect me. That I can continue doing what I do. Of course, it was a mistake to say I'm bulletproof because someone's always going to come up and test. Someone's always going to come up and as a troll and say, I can break him. And everyone has a breaking point. Everyone. The Dalai Lama has a breaking point. But I work on being bulletproof. And the thing is, I don't even have to be, because one of the things I love about Course in Miracles is it's a moment by moment by moment practice. I have my yoga practice. I have the foundation. I have the meditation. I have breath work. I have the postures. Our friend Wolf is here. Wolf, how are you? How is everything? But one thing some people might say is lacking in a full yogic practice is being able to bring it into that moment by moment, the circumstances of life. And for me, that's where the practices in the Course in Miracles, we could even say just one practice. There's a great psychology and cosmology to A Course in Miracles, but the practice is simply forgiving each moment as it happens. So if someone presses my button and I get angry, I don't forgive them for pressing my button. I forgive myself for having a button. I don't curse myself for having it. And forgiveness doesn't mean that, doesn't mean anything other than I step back into the present moment right now. What happened just a moment ago is already gone. It's in the heap pile of history. I don't know why that phrase came to me. And I can promise you, I probably never said heap pile of history before in my life. But there it is, guys. Let's see. We got a link dropped by Destiny, and I have it up. I will be watching this. There we go. Right after we are done our live stream. That's awesome. I'm always touched by what we've been able to accomplish on YouTube. And that's just friendship. Social media's got a whole lot of issues, that's for sure. But when you meet someone like Destiny Forever Walks PhD, when you get inspired by someone like Joe Delaney, when you get to hang out with people like William and Eric Lapointe, when you see Eric Lapointe out of nowhere start doing burpees because he's surrounded by people who love it so much that it's one of those things you got to try. The same with our friend Squirrel Sniper. That's a pretty amazing thing. It's what we make it. Some people are going to make social media pretty much of a hell. Others are going to make it a blessing. Destiny certainly has made it a blessing for me, as have all of you. Let's see. Wolf says everything is under the control of the creator. You know what? It's funny you said that, because I was reading about something along those lines this morning. Those are wise words, Wolf. I appreciate that. If you ask yourself if there's something big happening, huge, and you either believe everything's under the control of the creator, in which case you do your part as you're called to do your part, or you believe that everything is out of our control, in which case there's nothing you can do either way. So just that thought alone can bring you back to center. Our friend Ahmed is here. Ahmed, how are you, my friend? Wolf says, Yogi says, highest to the Master Sergeant, retired for me. I certainly will. She might be popping in a bit. We took our, for me, it was my second walk. For her, it was the first walk that we did together for today. All kinds of fun stuff that we saw. She finally got a video, and I'll be posting it soon, of a wood thrush, which is a beautiful bird that she's been hearing for weeks and weeks and weeks. And today she finally got under the right tree at the right time, the right moment. Our friend Greg is here. Greg, how are you? Hello, everybody. This is Old Man Greg from Stockton, California. Greg is a huge Beatles fan. Stones are number 2. Ahmed says he's good. How are you? I'm doing well, my friend. Destiny says, welcome in, everyone. Please smash the like button, thumbs up, and share out this super amazing channel. Thank you for that. So another useful tool for me, my mala beads, which are tangled. And it's just an easy way of keeping track of if you're praying or if you're using a mantra. For me, I use a mantra. Usually I use the Om Namah Shivaya, which is calling in the energy, the Lord of Yoga, Shiva. Shiva, if you recall, if anyone saw Oppenheim, where he quoted from the Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu, creator and destroyer of worlds. Vishnu and Shiva are the same. Shiva is the creator and destroyer of worlds, which is a good thing, because we all create this personal world in our mind of whatever is happening in the moment. It could be stress, it could be anger, projection, envy, jealousy. So we call upon Shiva to destroy that world, and we're instantly in another. Happens moment by moment by moment. We're never bound to any moment because we always have a new one. Let's see. Let's get back on track here. Oh, Joe Delaney says, how do you get a video of a tadpole? Pure luck and another gift from Mocha. I think I mentioned I need to do a video review. I'm looking for things to do with my channel, and I thought about reviewing certain products, like maybe the Love Tuner. I got a wonderful little handheld camera from Mocha, literally this big. Fits in the palm of my hand. 2 buttons, one for photos, one for film. It's got 3 different magnifying built in at a click of a button. And we were walking by a stream, and we crossed the bridge, and I looked down, and I thought, that looks like a tadpole, and I wondered if I could get filming, and I did. So if you noticed, all the really cool stuff, all the wonderful stuff that I have in my life has come from Mocha. Not to mention that the biggest blessing, the coolest thing, the most loving thing that I have in my life is Mocha herself. Tied with Misty, the dog, and my 2 cats. Hey, so does, I don't know if everyone here knows our friend Greg. Greg was introduced to me by Goldie, and he did us the great pleasure of coming by yesterday, keeping us company, having a great talk about music. If you love music, throw something out there for Greg and see what he has to say about it. So thanks, Joe. It was everything I've ever videographed has all been good fortune. Nothing to do with skill, that's for sure. Mocha is skillful. I'm lucky. Mocha's lucky and skillful. I'm just lucky. So yeah, it was the right time with the right camera. Today, my last video was a vulture actually finding something along the side of the road. I almost hesitated to post it, as maybe I thought it would be too graphic, but I feel bad for the squirrel that got hit by a car. I feel happy for the vulture that got a meal. So I shared it. We'll see what people think. Ahmed says, Goldie, thanks for your lovely support every time. I agree with that 100%. So, hey, Destiny, I think everyone knows, I'm not sure if I mentioned to you, that I finally got, I don't want to say finally, it didn't take all that long, monetized. And, you know, I mentioned all the help that everyone gave me, but I haven't had a chance to thank you one-on-one personally. Big thank you for all that you've done, all the information you gave me, all the support, showing up for me, sharing out my channel, and introducing me to the right people. You introduced me to James Guype. I found Mayhem and Miracles through James Guype. Everything took off. Everything took off when I met Destiny Forever Walks PhD. And that's what she does. She's a, you know what, some people might say she's a motivator, which is an important factor in life. But for me, she's an inspirer. She inspires me. And motivation is great, but I live by inspiration. Everything I do feels inspired to me. Which again, one of the big reasons why I love supporting Joe Delaney, because she inspires me. Let's see. Destiny says, I love using the singing bowl to tune into vibration and to meditate. I love the bowl as well. I don't have one, but I have a tuning fork that is set at the same frequency as the singing bowls. Um, Wonderful tools, great for meditation. I like using the tuning fork before I meditate, not all the time. Goldie says, did I hear right, Eric, you like the Pet Cemetery? Me or Eric Lapointe? Greg says, hello everyone, hope all is well with you. You as well, Greg. Destiny says, thanks for the love and support, and thanks for coming, everyone. Eric McCarty appreciates uh, uh, all of you being here and your fellowship. I certainly do. Bumblebee T is here. T, how are you? Greg says that wants to know if T knows she makes pretty good tuna. Let's see. I'm thinking different tuna. Bumblebee? What's the one with Charlie the tuna? I don't remember. Greg says, hey Eric, may I ask if you are married? I'm divorced. And I hang out with my ex-wife every day. I was happily married. I'm happily divorced. It was a seamless transition. When I say happily divorced, I don't mean happily apart. Um, I mean that I'm happy with what I have with Mocha. For almost 23 years, we've figured out and keep figuring out what we mean to each other and how to keep each other in our lives, no matter what has come up. And as you can imagine, 23 years, as you can imagine, 23 years with someone uh, who's been in the military for much of that time. So, she did a tour for almost a year in Iraq. A lot has come up. But we've always been able to navigate the course. And it's never caused us to separate, but just live differently. Dottie's here. Dottie, how are you? Dottie says hi to everyone and hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you, my friend. Let's see. Destiny says, congratulations on your monetization. You're on your way up to greater and new things. So proud of you. Thanks, but I was sent to you for that purpose. I believe it. You were definitely sent to inspire me because I didn't necessarily think about monetizing or even expanding my channel. I was just doing some burpee stuff. And then after my burpees, I started sitting down and talking about all the weird stuff that I do. And then last year in July, I decided to go live and start talking about all that stuff. And it just took off from there. And then I started thinking, Destiny showed up on a live, and we developed what we called the Fellowship of Beingness. And it was just a support, love, inspiration, and talking about all the stuff that would lead us in that direction, all the stuff that works for us, all the stuff that might not have worked for us at one time. And it went from there. And that's when I started thinking of, you know what, I'd like to see what I could do. I was inspired by our conversations, by Destiny. I'd like to see what I could do. And that's what's unfolding now. We'll see. Bumblebee says, no idea what Charlie and Tuna is. Charlie was the I guess the cartoon tuna fish that was would talk about I can't remember the name of the company. And then there's of course bumblebee tuna. Those were the two big. They were always commercials when I was a kid. Greg says it's good that you can still be friends with your ex-wife. Many times that doesn't happen. Starkiss, Mocha is here. Yes, Starkiss. Thank you for that. I was struggling. So yep, Greg says it's good that you can still be friends with your ex-wife. Many times that doesn't happen. And on that note, Mocha showed up. Then, you know, I use the word ex clarifying, but as I mentioned before, Mocha has never been an ex anything in my life. Nor can she. It's an impossibility. Let's see. Ahmed says, Yogi sir, I don't know why my views are going down. I don't know, Ahmed. Wonderful videos. My favorite on YouTube. I share you out virtually every day. I almost always have you up and running. All I can say is, you know, I think it's secular how the algorithms work. I don't understand it. It's happened to me as well with my shorts that they were hitting some, for me, pretty big numbers, and then they go down. Then something catches the collective imagination and it goes back up. So what I try to do, I try not to get emotionally involved with the ups or emotionally involved with the downs. Or I remind myself when I do that I don't want to do that, because that is a way to, that way doesn't lead to peace of mind. Peace of mind, by the way, doesn't necessarily mean that you're never disturbed. It means that you easily come back to base each and every time. Something swings you up, you just don't stay up. You remind yourself, I can choose peace instead of this. An important reminder is I can be right or I can be kind. For me to be right in an argument, in a debate, means I have to make someone else wrong. No one wants to be wrong, and they'll keep arguing and arguing and arguing. In my mind, I can think whatever I want. It's true or it isn't true. But if I choose to be kind, everything's settled. I return to peace. That's the important thing. Destiny says, now you're monetized, you can begin setting up a membership for people to join and get perks. You have so much to offer for perks. You got this. Thank you for that. I'm not sure about perks. I thought about it, and I sort of feel like everything that I have, I just want to keep giving it away and giving it away and giving it away, which is why I say anyone who participates in the live stream, I will absolutely teach meditation for free. I will absolutely teach breath work for free. So part of me says it doesn't feel right to charge for perks when I'll give it away for someone absolutely for free. So I'm sort of coming to terms with that. Not sure which way to go. Destiny says, hello and much love to Mocha. You're the best. She is the best. Wolf says, salute to the Master Sergeant. A big hi from Dottie. Mocha has spent some of her day at the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles. So it's a good thing we're doing all this talk on how to achieve a state of inner peace and maintain it. Because if you spend an afternoon, if you spend an hour at the DMV, you will be tested. Eric Point says, sorry you had to step away for a minute. That's okay, my friend. Daddy says, I'm told the first 1,000 subs are hard to get, but I'm not hoping to get monetized. I'd love to see you get monetized, though. Hey, Daddy, even if it just paid your gas money as you traveled in your van, that would be awesome. And you're going on, for one thing, you're journaling, video journaling, that preparation for the van, and then you're going to be journaling the trip itself, so people can come back to the beginning and see where you started. And I think that could be really big. So again, even if it just paid for gas money and an oil change, maintenance. Met says, Goldie, some videos are you watching if you have time, dear? Again, I have you shared out, Ahmed, and I'll keep doing that every day. Every day you post new stuff, and I'll keep sharing. Wolf says, true, but the perks would actually be a way of making money for your teaching. That's true. I see both points of it. I just, logistically, I haven't figured out how I can do it and how I can balance it in my head, in my heart, more importantly. Mocha says, thank you, Dr. Destiny. I'm far from the best, but I try. Dottie says, we'll have to see how it pans out for you, Eric. Thank you. Destiny says, you can always give out free information to those that seek information, but perks can be done in deeper level and for private memberships that want to pay. This is true. You make an excellent point, as does Wolf. Maybe I'll do my first ever poll. One of the things I do want to do is short, and I started yesterday, short videos, definitely under 10 minutes, just talking about the stuff that has been so meaningful for me. Different aspects of yoga, working with the Course in Miracles, my approach to writing and inspiration and being out in nature, reading the Tao Te Ching. So I'm looking forward with that. I'm going to do another one today. Probably most of the stuff in the immediate future is going to be with the Course in Miracles. Dottie says I'll be back later. Another long day on the van. Plus it's been quite hot here. It's getting hot here too. Next Sunday, I think it's going to be like 97. Dottie, take care. Don't overdo it in the heat, my friend. Dottie says, or I'm sorry, Destiny says, thanks, Mocha, that you understand what I'm saying. So, to bring it, I think one of the reasons why I mentioned before that it was in the mid 80s or so when I first discovered A Course in Miracles, and I didn't buy the book. It's a big workbook. It's very dense, and it's written in poetic language, can be a little hard to decipher, and then it has 365-page workbook, and then a manual for teachers that follow us. And as it says in the course, all of us are teachers. All of us are God's teachers, but we teach what we most need to learn. So there's no separation between student and teacher. I read a lot of books about A Course in Miracles, but it was only in the early 90s when I finally bought the book that I started studying it. And then I kept putting it aside because it calls for the diminishment of our ego. And I was approaching it, as most of us will, I was approaching it from an egoic level. The ego never wants to destroy itself, or it might toy with the thought, if I destroy myself, I will become enlightened, which is just the ego saying, I want people to think that I'm enlightened. So it would always reach that point of frustration, and I'd put it aside, and I would pick it up and put it aside. Finally, in 2009, after 2008, 2009, uh, after nearly 2 decades of working with it in various forms, I sat down for a year and did the workbook. I read the text, and then felt very good about that and went back to the way things always were. Maybe a little bit better, but no real diminishment of the ego. It did happen. Not that my ego disappeared, but I learned to hold it lighter and lighter and lighter. I didn't take everything as personally as before. Life felt more joyful. I was able to, again, just hold things lighter, as well as embrace things, embody. That's a real benefit of yoga, is embodiment, that you're working with the things of the body. When you're grieving, you just grieve. You learn not to push it away. You learn not to say, I don't want to grieve anymore. I want something other, because you can't have anything other while you're here. Something other happens completely on its own. The way of suffering is the way of holding on to what we wish was happening instead of what is happening. So, Goldie says, sorry, I was flooded with orders. Goldie says, he was saying about videos. I was talking about doing some shorter videos, talking about a lot of the stuff that I talk about, but maybe less rambling than I do here, if that's possible. I think everyone by now has realized that I ramble. Jesse says, please don't forget to smash the like button and share out if you haven't already. Thank you for that. But I had largely put the Course in Miracles behind me. I kept the teachings handy in my mind, turning to them as needed, as I was able, as I could remember. But it was only recently where I found it in my hands again for no apparent reason, other than I feel like I'm ready for a full commitment to the moment-by-moment practice that it calls for. So I definitely want to share that with people. I feel like all the previous years of teaching have reached a fruition and are ready to be expressed. And this is a sort of a refresher. Remember to remember, if that makes sense. Greg says, hey, Goldie, are you still working in the pizza place? Oh, Ahmed says that me are asking about video, Goldie. Yes. I hope everyone checks out Mir Ahmed's videos. They're absolutely beautiful. It's a moment of nature captured perfectly. Destiny says, once a person gets monetized, every monetized view on any video you posted in the past and or future will now potentially generate ad revenues. Awesome. That's what I like, is the earning a small living. I've had great discussions with Goldie on contentment. If you offer a prayer, you don't have to offer a prayer for, dear God, bless me with fortune. Dear God, bless me with more. Dear God, give me this, give me this, give me this. It can simply be, dear God, allow me enough. Allow me the wisdom to know that enough is truly enough and all I need. It's an important thing for me to consider, and I do. As well, it is what I hope for with my channel. I've mentioned before, I have very modest needs. Not a lot at all. a luxury for me is the ability to buy a book once a month. I wouldn't mind being able to buy a book once every, let's face it, once a week. But I could handle once a month. Um, pay my bills, pay my taxes, pay my groceries, and I'm golden. My house is paid for. I got a car that's paid for. Um, so I think I can do that. I think. We'll see. And then, you know what? I'm settled into that yogic lifestyle for the duration, whatever that means. I could sum it up as a life of inspiration, spontaneity, and loving from the heart. If I can do that, I see no reason why I can't do that. I see no reason why each of you can't do that, no matter what it is that you do. And that's what I always come back to talk about. Destiny says, still here, quietly in the bushes. I appreciate you staying here with us. Jacob's here. Jacob again put in some hard work in the sun. Although it looked a little cloudy there, like it might storm. Med says, sir, tomorrow start my journey from my hometown. Sending out prayers to you, my friend, on your journey. Just know in the heart, we're all walking with you. Goldie says, yes, Ahmed, I was there in today's live stream, and I sent Princess Vampire to watch yesterday. I mentioned before, Goldie is that quiet presence that I see everywhere. Goldie, Destiny, Eric LaPointe. They're just there doing what they do. You know, Destiny and I, in the beginning of live streams, we talked about beingness. Beingness requires nothing. It just is. We do it automatically. And yet we fill that beingness with doingness. We make our way from human beings to human doings. And then we stay busy until the day we die. Of course, we don't have to. And of course, we can do while retaining our beingness. This is what I might need Goldie's help with this. If I remember correctly, being in the world but not of the world. That's maintaining the doing while you stay beingness in the heart. You stay present. And, you know, again, those are the people, I don't think you need, it doesn't hurt to ask for help. But for Goldie and Eric and Destiny, it just comes spontaneously and automatically from them. They're there to help you guys. Let's see. Skim over the highs. HCNC says hi and hello, everyone. Hello, my friend. How are you? Ahmed says, when you see your friends in your live stream, so much happiness. I agree. 100%. Puts a smile on your face because you know you're not alone. Not only are you not alone, you're with people who are invested in your well-being, people who are invested in seeing you succeed. ACNC says, sitting back and listening. I appreciate you being here. ACC says, day off, much work. So much work on your day off, if I read that correctly. That's the way it seems to be sometimes, doesn't it? That our day off, we got to do all the stuff that we missed while we were working. All the stuff around the house and the shopping and Goldie says, I was happy to be there just for support. However, I must admit, it was a little bit graphic for me when they were eating. Hey, Goldie, I'm glad you said that. I put a graphic warning on my latest short, because it's of a turkey vulture eating what it found. So I wanted to make sure that people knew when they tune in that, or before they tune in, so I don't want anyone to be surprised. Eric Point says, good. I don't think my comment made it through earlier, but I said that I'm always watching your channel when I can. As am I. So you got your support. You got your support system in place. Jacob says, I need to try out those wood splitter burpees, brother Eric Lapointe. I hope you do. I hope you do it in one of your workouts where you video it. Love to see it. I got to give it a try too. AC says grass grows too fast. This time of year, yeah. Depending on where you are. We're about to start in the heat of the summer. It's like we almost have daily thunderstorms. Almost every day. And then the grass just grows overnight. But so do the mushrooms. And I absolutely love seeing how the mushrooms spring up out of nowhere. Huge. How did you get something that wasn't there visibly less than 24 hours ago into something that is so huge right now? Eric Point says he would be honored. Eric made a significant contribution to the burpee community in his first few workouts. It takes a very innovative mind, as well as, wanting to give back so early. Jacob says, when are you going to go live again, brother Eric Lapointe? Met says, I want to visit your place. Very beautiful, buddy. Yeah, I absolutely love my area. Time to time, I grew up here. Time to time, I've considered moving other places, but it's a wonderful town. I mentioned before, it was a planned city based upon high ideals that different income families were mixed within the same neighborhood, so they could all attend the same school, so that everyone had an equal place in the community, as well as interfaith centers. So even though different faiths would have their congregation different times of the day, they would see each other going in and out. So there was a way of opening the doors for communication. It was a green city before that was such a thing. It doesn't have telephone poles. All the telephone wires are underground because the founder, James Rouse, who is the grandfather of Edward Norton, by the way. He was also the person who designed the Mall of America in, is it Minnesota? He wanted it to be a visually stunning area, full of trees, full of ponds, open spaces. And it was. It's different now, but it's still a beautiful place to live. And it still has that high ideal, even if it has maybe a little less so. Cody says, hi there, ACC. Eric Lapointe, Jacob, just making sure I didn't miss anyone. Jacob says, whenever then, I'm always down to come and hang out on your live stream and support you. Jacob's been a huge support. I feel the same, what Jacob said. Not only when I can make it and hang out with Eric LaPointe, when I can make it and hang out with Jacob. And when I get to go for a walk with Goldie. Wolf says, I know and I will. Hey, Wolf, if you can't answer, understandable. But how is Barb? And how are you? If you'd rather answer in private, again, understandable. Goldie is in the last hour at work. So, yeah, maybe when I go live this evening, I'll try to do a poll about doing the, I already forgot what it's called, the private perks, I'll remember eventually. So once again, I want to mention that I haven't checked for a bit, but Mayhem and Miracles was live. I'm willing to bet, as Maja has incredible endurance, rivaled only by our friend UK Medic, that she's probably still live, and she is. James Gype will be live 2:55 p.m. Again, guys, if you're looking to grow your channel, these are the two places to visit. There's others. These guys did it for me. They took me all the way. And different styles, but both are there to help. I absolutely loved James. I still love James. He's a no business guy. He has his phone and he's working, helping people connect. But I'll be honest, I absolutely fell in love with Mayhem and Miracles because it just felt so personal that she was heavily invested in seeing my channel succeed to whatever extent I had hoped it would succeed. Let's see. We get some thumbs up from Jacob. Moon says, we're both holding up. Okay, in spite of the circumstances. Hey, my prayers with both of you, my friend. Sending love and energy continuously for you both. Goldie says, I believe you can make a live only for members. Interesting. Goldie says, for my part, I choose not to buy membership. If I'm a member, someone has gifted it to me. I think probably what I would end up doing is gifting it to all the people that I absolutely love so that they would be there. I can't imagine doing something without including you. I can't imagine doing something and not including Eric LaPointe and Jacob and Wolf and Barb, Destiny, Joe Delaney, and Ahmed. I don't want to make sure I leave anyone out. You guys are my community, my people. Goldie says you can't choose who you gift it to. You can or you can't. That would be odd. Wolf says, thanks. You're welcome, my friend. So we'll see. You know, right now, I'm coasting on the fact that I I got to the point where I wanted, and now it's up to me. Put out quality stuff. Put out things that are helpful and useful for people. That if someone tunes into a short video that I make, um, it's going to have something that can be helpful immediately. So I need to put out more breath work videos, just one breath at a time. Explain what it is, how to do it, and why you want to do it. Um, and again, talk about the yogic principles, the misunderstanding that yoga is stretching. Uh, so many people don't realize that it's actually a meditative path that you walk through life. It begins with ethics, personal practices that we do, not so much to. I love tying in A Course in Miracles with yoga. That um, in Course in Miracles they say, do not seek to change the world, seek to change how you perceive the world. And when you can do that, the world itself will change. Yoga is a path of inner transformation. Course in Miracles is a path of inner transformation. And when we can make that transformation, here's the choice. You want to live in a peaceful world, you can go out and march for peace. And you're going to be facing opposition. You're going to have people stand up and say, we don't want your version of peace. That now is not the time to protest. That they'll come up with 1,000 reasons why you shouldn't be doing what you do. And then you get upset. And you might think this isn't the right way to do it. Or you get upset and you get militant about your stance. I'm so much for peace that I will take my peace sign and hit you over the head with it. And we've seen that kind of stuff happen. We've seen all kinds of wonderful protests turn violent on both sides of whatever spectrum that we're talking about. Because passion runs deep, passion runs high. However, there is a way to achieve peace, and that is changing our own personal paradigm to make ourselves peaceful so that all we see, all we have to give away is peace. That when we are squeezed by an emotional grip of life, all we have to give away is love, because that's who we are. We're steeped in it. And now, both the Course in Miracles as well as yoga removes the obstacles from the self-realization that we are love, which is what every major faith does. Let's see. Wolf says, thanks. And so please don't let me stop the membership. It may make a safer place for some special people. That's a good point. That's just when I think I'm settled in something, I get a message like that that makes me think in a deeper way. I appreciate that. ACC says, not sure, but if you put it unlisted, they can see it, but can't view it while you're alive. Interesting. Oh, Goldie says you can't choose who you gift memberships to. YouTube gives it out according to their pleasure. That's a little disappointing. But I guess it wouldn't be exclusive if I gave everyone a free membership. I always remember, I mentioned this the other day as well, Night Watcher telling me I shouldn't be giving out moderators willy-nilly, which was an excellent point. But I could also hear him saying to me, the wisdom of Night Watcher, you shouldn't be giving out memberships willy-nilly. AC&C says, thank you for letting me know. ACC says, so really YouTube will do that, but not follow their own rules. Wow, amazing. There's been some disappointments, that's for sure. So I got a monetizing flag on a YouTube short. And it was saying that they thought it might be too graphic or disturbing for people. And it was the one that I did of a duck that was doing a little dance to shake the pollen off. It was covered in pollen, and it was just shaking in these odd little ways that made it look like it was dancing. And I put duck dancing the pollen off. And it has limited monetizing because they were afraid that people would think it was too graphic. Anyone who is disturbed by a duck dancing probably has bigger issues at hand, I would think. ACC says you can appeal. Yeah, I saw that I could. I don't know. I was afraid the one with the turkey vulture might actually get taken down. That's what I ended up doing, ACC. I kept it up. People can see. I don't need to make money off of it. Eric LaPointe has an excellent point. First, Goldie says, ACC, someone is gifting 5 memberships. YouTube chooses who gets them. Some rules seem very arbitrary to me. Eric LaPointe says, duck video did fly, but the one pooping was not a problem. Exactly. The cormorant, not a problem. I honestly thought the cormorant was the video. If any video was to go viral, that would be the one that did. That, you know, it was a beautiful video of the cormorant majestically spreading its wings, and then I didn't know why, lifting its leg, and then just a white stream coming out. So again, we'll see how the turkey vulture flies. ACC says, oh, now I understand. Thank you, Goldie. Yep, I understand as well. I appreciate that. So we'll see. Just not sure I like the thought of being exclusive to anyone whatsoever. Wolf says, an excellent point. I don't know or understand why people are offended by wildlife doing normal things. Exactly. And it wasn't as if the duck was doing a provocative dance. It wasn't like the duck was pole dancing. It wasn't like the duck was plucking one feather at a time, revealing a naked duck underneath. It was just a duck covered in pollen who was trying to get it off, doing a funky little dance. Goldie says, I don't know it either. Whoops, I just can't watch bloody stuff. I'm not a fan of it either. And yet I filmed this one this morning because I just thought it was a way of sharing an aspect of nature. And I know that I'm very similar to Goldie. So that's why I put the warning graphic. That way people won't be surprised. ACC says, yeah, people make these horrible attack videos on people and YouTube does nothing. Put up one video and it was red flagged. I agree. I had a talk with Mocha this morning about channels that exist for the sole purpose of hating someone. That's it. In their mind, they justify it. In their mind, they say, well, this person, I think, did this. Someone told me this person did this. I heard that this person did this. Sorry about always referring back to A Course in Miracles, but one of the tenets is there are no justified resentments. But specifically, there are no justified secondhand resentments. that because I heard someone say this, it must be true. I want it to be true because it gives me a chance to attack. And every single attack is nothing more than a projection. We are projecting the world that we see. So if we are projecting resentment and anger and hatred, then we live in a world of resentment, anger, and hatred. Who wants to live in a world like that? You can change how you perceive the world, and when you change how you perceive the world, you change the projection. Now you're projecting love. Now you're projecting reality, because love is reality. Hey, Flower, have you been hanging in with us, or did you fall asleep? I know you were earlier. Very much appreciated seeing you. So, yeah, ACC, excellent point, my friend. Not to mention, there's... Oh, I don't know. Eric Point says I'm going to have to check that short out. And which one? The pollinated duck on the doing the pole dance, or the turkey vulture? Muhammad is here. Muhammad, my friend, how are you? How is Turkey? Apple says, hey, McCarty, I'm about to head to the gym. How was the morning walk? Apples, thanks for being here. Have a good workout, my friend. Morning walk was awesome. I got a close-up, a little dark, but of a deer at dawn. Got one in a crow offering me a morning song. What else did I get? Oh, I got a little catbird that was, for some reason, running. I don't know why. It could have popped up, could have flown, but it was just running along, doing its catbird stuff. So thank you for asking, my friend. And then we had the afternoon walk. Milka, Missy, and I, and Milka's child, my stepchild. And Milka got a video of a wood thrush, which she has very patiently stalked for weeks upon weeks, and was fortunate to find herself under the right tree, and the right shot, the right angle, everything just coincided perfectly. Noble's here. Noble, my friend. Noble, I have a request. C says there are many, I don't understand the hate behind them. I think I understand it. I can't say that I like it. From the yogic perspective, it is simply how the mind perceives things are, and the inability to see how they really are. So we react. We are attached to our opinion. We are averse to someone else's opinion. We mistakenly believe that we are the voice in our head that is telling us to do something or act a certain way, or that this person is right or that that person is wrong. And so the world is for those people. For them, they believe I'm doing a great service. They get a thrill. They get an energy, a sense of accomplishment by bringing someone down, whether or not they deserve it or not. And the truth is, no one deserves it, because it's not your business. It's not your business to judge. You turn to any faith, and it tells you the same thing. It is not your business to judge. Not because judging is bad for that person, although it's hurtful, but because judging is bad for you. It damages you. It doesn't say that judging doesn't happen. It's what we do with the judging. We can recognize it. As soon as we find ourselves judging, that's a moment to practice peace. We step aside. In the beginning, it takes some time. We're caught in that judgmental mode. But soon we start to see it, and then we actually catch it before it actually happens. Noble says, hello, sir. So, Noble, that's what I want to talk to you about. Noble says, thank you so much for your support, Yogi. My pleasure. What I wanted to ask, Noble, have you ever considered making a playlist of your live streams? So, in the morning, when I wake up, I can click play all, and it'll just play the live stream straight through. And watch hours will be on a continuous basis. As long as I'm awake, there's going to be Noble Scrolling Traveler watch hours heading in your direction. Playlists are a wonderful tool to help people give you watch hours. So Noble says, thank you so much for the support, Yogi. My pleasure. You know, again, talking about those projections, Noble is someone who is projecting love out into the world. How can you not support that? Apple says, I don't know if this is what you were talking about earlier with perception, but one thing I do to help on a tough day is to remind myself that I am in control of my day and I choose my emotions that I feel. That's a great tool, and it is helpful. I've taken the opposite approach, that I am not in control of my emotions, and that I don't choose them, that they happen. However, I can come to the realization that I am the awareness of those emotions. So when I feel anger, I'm not associating myself with anger. By rights, I don't say I'm angry. I can simply say there's anger present. And as soon as you enter that little bit of distance between the experience and the experiencer, the witness to it, everything begins to change. Everything changes through the lens of awareness. So if we're always trying to be in control, we're going to find a time when we eventually experience that we're not in control. And then it feels like a crash. And we're disappointed in ourselves. We beat ourselves up. I let myself down. I thought I was in charge, and it seems that I'm not strong enough yet. And as soon as you start thinking, I'm not strong enough yet, we set up a battle in the mind. And my preference is I don't want to battle myself. I had enough people through childhood, teen years, early adult years, all the way up until whenever, people wanting to battle me. I don't need to add myself to that list. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight other people. I most especially don't want to fight myself. So when emotion happens, I can simply view it as a natural state. I don't need to get myself out of it. I can just experience it. And by experiencing it, by being the witness to it, it automatically changes. Also, it gives me the opportunity to be at peace with what's occurring. If that makes sense. Gordy says, but it's healthy to step away from the drama. It is. Laradox says, sorry, I sent that logo message twice. I didn't see it. Sorry, I missed a bunch. Sorry, I apologize for all of that. Eric Point says a duck short. Be forewarned, it has been flagged by YouTube. Goldie says, let's see. Sorry, I want to make sure that I catch up everyone. Muhammad says, sorry I'm late. Not a problem, my friend. I hope you are enjoying your family time. ACC says, I'm not that way, Goldie. Why hurt unless they are hurting in some way and can't let go of it? That's the way I see it. That's the whole thing about projection, is that they are hurting. Again, in the Course in Miracles, they say that every attack thought is a cry for help. Every attack is a cry for help, whether they realize it or not. So if someone cries out for help, how do we respond? Sometimes the best way to help is to walk away and not participate, as Goldie was saying. sometimes, and we can do that lovingly. We can wish someone love and choose not to participate in the drama. Or we can help. I think what happens comes spontaneously. Goldie says, hi there, Noble. Princess Vampire watched 2 of your longest streams. I am much familiar with Princess Vampire, as she has been a huge help for me. Noble says, thank you so much, Goldie. All right, now we're going to dive in and catch up. Sometimes when I'm trying to skim through hellos, I miss something that is important to the conversation. So I apologize. Noble says, what was the request? You were almost there, letting it out. And I did ramble. Doing the playlist takes like 5 minutes. And then people can click right on the playlist. It'll become like I said, a morning to night activity for me. Because now I can watch a 2-hour or a 3-hour live stream, but when it runs out, if I'm away from the desk, then it's out. But with a live stream, it'll play all the way through. Noble says, hello to Eric Point. Thank you for pushing me yesterday during the jog. He's there to motivate. All right, I'm not so far behind. I see our friend Babushka is here. Babushka, my friend, how are you? She said, hi, friends. Let's see, Apple says, sometimes I find myself enjoying the discomfort of my emotions, knowing that is life molding me into a bigger and stronger person, and kind of flip my thoughts process around that way. Exactly, that those difficult emotions are there to serve. It's feedback. We're getting information. That's the difference between feeling what we feel and suffering. If you're grieving, you're not suffering. You're just grieving. If you're grieving and you're saying, I don't want to grieve any longer. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of feeling this way. Now you're suffering. If you're angry and you're just expressing anger that's in the moment, you're just expressing anger. If you hold on to it and you turn it as resentment, if you justify its presence to hurting other people, including yourself, you're suffering. And this is why the Buddha says you don't suffer because of your anger, you suffer for your anger. Anger is the suffering. Anger is the punishment itself. Slime Diver is here. Slime Diver, how are you, my friend? Ahmed says, Moonwolf, I am your 250 number, friend. Awesome. Ahmed is all over the place. He's all over helping people wide and far. He's a good friend to have in your corner. Mohammed says, I'm honored to have met you, my dear friend, and this large family from the other side of the world. And the honor is mine as well. That's for sure. Babushka is great. I don't know why I have so much fun saying Babushka. Maybe it's because I can actually say it, and most channel names I mangle my way through. I look at it, and it seems like it'll be a difficult word, and it just rolls from the tongue, so it gives me no small amount of pleasure. Slime Diver is good. Happy to hear that. Apple says, I really like that. I feel like I gained yet another piece of wisdom from your stream again, friend. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate your thoughts. You know, it's things like that, and you and I going back and forth, which I've done with so many of people here, that we both arrive at a deeper understanding. I always like to say that, you know what, I don't have I don't have a ton of information about stuff. Um, and that's all it is information. Anyone can retain information to give information, but like knowledge, we all have that inherently, and we have equal amount. We both have the knowledge of the heart pumping on its own, of the brain doing the brain stuff that it does. The body has that innate knowledge of aliveness, and we can tap into that. And the body isn't separate from the universe itself. The very particles that make me up have made up a flower at one time, have made up a tree, have made up a raccoon, have made up a great blue heron, have made up a star at one time. At one point, it was compressed into a singularity of existence, dense energy, that something, and we can liken it to the very voice of God whispering to it, expand, and the universe came into existence. We are that. Doesn't get any more intelligent than that. So at any point, we can tap into the intelligence of the universe because we are, as my friend Destiny likes to say, we are the universe, and the universe is us. Eric Point says, I saw Mir Ahmed in like 8 or 9 chat yesterday. Yeah, I saw him in a bunch as well. And you know what? He's the same um, energetic, giving presence in each and every one of those chats. Wolf says, thank you to Mir. You see what I mean? I can't say that, and yet I can keep saying babushka over and over again. Eric Point says, I also like to say babushka. It's an Eric thing. Destiny says, please don't forget to hit the like button and cheer out the host awesome channel. Leave a huge thumbprint on the like button. I absolutely love the awesome. It's the sound of creation. I've been talking a little bit about Wayne Dyer, and years and years ago, decades ago, Dr. Dyer has since passed away, I think 2015, but he was given from his own yoga master a manifestation technique, manifesting what we desire by, in the morning, working with the meaningless but vibrational substance mantra of Ah. Ah is the sound of creation. Ah, everything comes into creation. Ah is the sound of procreation. The universe was born on an Ah. But as it exists, from unmanifest to the manifest, we have the great Om, the vibration of beingness itself. We could say that Om is also the vibration of gratitude. So when we are meditating on Om in the evening, we are attuning and aligning with that awesome state of gratitude for all of which has been given. And you might want to ask, what's been given? Look around. It's all been given. It's all been gifted. Through nothing that we asked for. We didn't wake up and say, could the sun shine today, please, for me? Could I have a sky? Could I have oxygen? Could I have a breath? Could I have trees? It all just spontaneously appeared. Wasn't here when we were asleep. There was no one there to perceive it, at least. And if you agree with Heisenberg and the observer theory, if you're not there to observe it, it no longer exists. So Om is that sound of gratitude, the sound of creation itself. Ah is the sound of creating. Om is the sound of creation. So if you would like to manifest something in your life, breathe in silently, or you can do it vocally. Release an Ah. Do that for a few minutes. And then simply put out your intent. What would you like to intend into your life? And then in the evening, think about all the wonderful things that you've been gifted through the day. And 5 minutes, you can chant vocally Om, and then make it softer and softer and softer until it's just a whisper, until it's just a silent Om vibrating in your mind. Thank you for that, Destiny. Our friend Vincent is here. Vincent, when is the next live stream? Babushka says she's laughing. Eric the Point, me too. And again, we get a hey everyone from Horror of Spice. Hope you guys visit Horror of Spice. Him and Mrs. Horror of Spice put on a wonderful show. They review hot sauce movies and sometimes the butt of the day. It's the 3 B's for Horror of Spice. Buds, Booze, and I'll let him fill in the blank. Stay tuned. Horror of Spice. We'll let you know what the 3rd B is. Muhammad says, life is too short, and more than we can imagine, we must live in peace with others. I agree, my friend. Beautifully said. Apple says, if you don't mind me asking, what city are you in? I deduce you're in the Eastern time zone from one of your streams I was in. I recently moved to Tennessee and love the natural beauty here. Tennessee is a beautiful state. I'm in Maryland, so north of you, not too far. As a matter of fact, you and I are one state away. So I realized that I could actually, I'm 3 states away from Texas, which seems weird when you think about it. But I drive through Virginia, I drive across Tennessee, I drive through Arkansas, and I hit Texas. 3 states away, but it's still a long, long drive. Horror of Spice says, I was able to walk to the kitchen and cook dinner for the first time in 2 years. Absolutely awesome. You've been making steady progress, and I knew you had a setback not long ago, but it seems like you bounced back from that, and now you are stronger and more enduring than ever. Way to go. Vincent, Horror of Spice, big news. Leo said so. I missed you, my friend. There we go. Mr. Yogi, vibes are always on point. Thank you for that, Leo. I was talking about you at the beginning of the conversation. Leo stepped up into the nasal breathing. I thought it was a one-off thing. He met the challenge, and he came back today because when you do it, and when you do it correctly, which is not to see how many reps you can get while you're doing nasal breathing, that comes later. When you do it, you do 1 rep, and it does start to suck. The suck starts early, as Leo pointed out. But you learn to manage it. It becomes a meditation, and it becomes a life metaphor. Sometimes life seems more than you can handle, and yet you learn to slow down and you handle it. And then you speed up again. Well done, Leo. Jacob is giving a salute to Brother Leo, a well-deserved salute, and a well-deserved salute back to Jacob. Ahmed says, Sir Yogi, now I want to go because I have some work and ready for traveling. So all friends, I asked to enjoy my new journey. Hey, our prayers are with you, my friend. Safe travels. Rage Addict says, I agree, the nasal breathing lesson was enlightening. Yeah, that was just it was a big, I really enjoyed seeing that. Rage Addict says, Namaste, Yogi. Namaste to you, my friend. Sorry, I missed that at first. Leo says, thank you for the warm welcome to the chat. You guys are dope. Yeah, it's a great community. Apple says, we're going to Texas in September to visit Dallas, where my girlfriend grew up. She's in the Navy. Milka was in the Air Force for 23 years. You know, I heard the term from both Wolf and Barb saying my walk beside, how they describe themselves. Um, that's what I whip out there with Milka. For lack of anything else I can think of, my walk beside, the person that I went to walk beside, and the person above all else I went to walk beside with me, if that made sense. So that sounds like a great trip, Apples. I spent a long day in Taylor, Texas. Jacob says, "You're a legend, Leo. Blessings to you, brother. He is a legend." Leo says, "Mr. Yogi hypes me up. I love it. Thank you, brother. You're welcome." It's easy to do. I see the passion and I see the drive. And you just show up every day. And I remember when you were hurting around day 50 or so, and you still showed up. And it's not like you just went through it. You were also smart about it. You could tell that it hurt. You made some adjustments, but you kept with it. Wolf says, and to think across Texas is almost the same distance as the states you cross to get there. Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think you mentioned that you lived in Texas at one point. Or are you actually from Texas? Destiny says, Leo, did you do burpees today? I hope you're having a great day. He did do burpees. He did a nasal breathing set of burpees. And then he went to Legoland. Yep, there he says, I did my session earlier before heading out to Legoland at my daughter's B-Day. As mentioned in the comment, but once again here, happy birthday to your daughter, Leo. Destiny says, hello to Jacob, and blessings to him. Apple says, Wolf, yeah, it's about a 9-hour drive, which is long, but definitely doable for me. I used to have to drive from the bottom of South Carolina, where I used to live, to the middle of Michigan to visit the fam. Man, how long of a drive was that? That's got to be at least, what, 19 hours? Destiny says, happy birthday to your daughter, Leo. Muhammad says, how beautiful it is to live your day as if it were the last day of your life, in order to present everything that is wonderful to people and the world, whether hatred or malice. Nicely said. Fitness H2O, my friend, how are you? You're amazing. Great video again. Thank you, Fitness H2O. Speaking of channels, and speaking of high energy channels, and speaking of fitness, Fitness H2O, wonderful fitness channel. And again, high energy. He'll do a short little Zumba session in 5 minutes that will get your heart rate up, will get your burning calories, and it's just a whole lot of fun. A whole lot of fun to watch, a whole lot of fun to do. What I like about it is I think of it as lymphatic dancing. If you follow along with him, you're getting a workout of the lymphatic system, as well as somatic dancing. You are dancing out the trauma that is present in the body. Rage Addict says that I'm from Texas. I live in Caddy, Texas. I haven't heard of that. What part of Texas is that? I got a good friend that lives in the hill country. And I got another good friend that lives in Tyler. That's why I went to Tyler. She actually flew me down there to do a poetry reading and a photo shoot in 2022, I believe. Leo says, I appreciate you guys. My kid appreciates the love. How was Legoland? Team DLZ says you look like an albino milk dud. That is better than the inside out Ethiopian that you mentioned the other day. That's for sure. But it's just as clever. Just as clever. You know what? I absolutely love the fact, where would something like that come from? Where does that thought come from? Just spontaneously appearing. Just like that. Because you got to visualize it. First, the thought of a milk dud has to pop in your head for whatever reason whatsoever. And then you got to visualize an albino milk dud. I got to say, I'm beginning to think that he might be a truly inspired genius. Wolf says, team, there's no need to be rude. You know what? Team is actually being friendly. And he might be a genius. You look like CEO of a pumpkin patch. You see, when you take that comment, he could have said, I look like a janitor. Not there's anything wrong with gender. He promoted me all the way up to CEO of a pumpkin patch. I could have been anywhere. I could have been at the bottom rung. But instead, he put me up there. I'm the CEO. Let's see. Apple says it was 16 hours, but I would take back roads all the way up. That's the way to do it. I'd be definitely would be more comfortable doing that. And back down to see the scenery and talk to nice Southerners on the way. You are so much cool stuff in back roads and adventures. Hey, have you ever read the book by William Least Heatmoon called Blue Highways? Someone in the 70s going through a divorce. He lives in Missouri. He decided to refurbish a van that he named Ghost Dancing. And he drove what used to be called Blue Highways. When you looked at an old-fashioned map, you had the interstates show up, and I believe it was in red. And even in the 70s, it was filled with red. But he decided to go with the blue highways, the small roads that were outlined in blue. And he drove the, not across country, but like up, and then an up, and then down, and then across again, and then up again, and then across, sort of a zigzag motion. It's a wonderful book. I actually have it in my next room. Blue Highways is the title. So for me, 19 hours is about right. Muhammad says, I love you very much and respect you very much, my friends and my beautiful big family. And the love and respect is returned to you, my friend. Squirrel Sniper is here. Greeting beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. One of my favorite greetings. I got the pleasure of having Squirrel Sniper join me on some of my early live streams. Jacob says, thank you, Sniper. Salute to you. How was your workout? Excellent question, Jacob. Noble says, I just made the playlist for you, Chatting with Humans. Perfect title. That is a Noble Scrolling Traveler title, if I've ever heard one. And now it's just going to be easy for me. I didn't mind doing it the other way, but this way, it can be seamless. So guys, if you want to give some watch hours to our friend Noble, you can just click the playlist now and go about your business, which does two things. It helps Noble, but with the playlist, it means you can tune in at any odd moment when you're around and just dive in, because we all know how much fun it is hanging out with Noble. Now you can get 24/7 Noble, all the time. That's a lot of Noble, but we're up for the job. We are up for the job. Let's see. Team says, I'm a comedian in Las Vegas. I come across live channels like this and see how some of the jokes go. Hey, all day long, I think it was Saturday, when you said that I looked like the Spider-Man version that was bitten by a regular spider, I actually posted that on my Facebook page. I actually said, you can check it out if you visit Eric McCarty. You'll see me, so you'll know. That someone came on my live stream and said that I looked like the Spider-Man version that was bitten by a regular spider and that it was funny. And I told it to Mocha, and it made me laugh all day long. Hey, you know what? I'm happy and proud to be part of your test group. Squirrel Sniper says, a few hours ago, I do mine before 10 p.m. Breaking patterns. As only Squirrel Sniper would do. That is like archetypical Squirrel Sniper. It's in the fabric of his being. If you think you've seen Squirrel Sniper do everything the same day by day by day, even that is probably has some sort of esoteric pattern to it. Destiny says, hello and happy Tuesday to Squirrel Sniper. Eric Lapointe says, hey there, team. Eric Lapointe was there that morning. That team came in to test out his material first thing. Noble says there's 24 hours of watch time, 24 hours of noble scrolling traveler. Noble training, noble walking, noble in your face, noble eating, noble shopping, noble announcing, noble being noble. And now in 3D. Apple says, just hit a new personal record on my incline bench press while watching your stream. Previous record was 45-pound dumbbells, and now 50. Awesome. Hey, Apples, are you subscribed to William Downey? Great workout channel. He's up above. Let's see. I think you'd love hanging out with him. Team says, I come up with jokes like this. Since you're wearing red, I tell you look like the HR department for the Bloods. It's a nice one. It's got to be perfect for hecklers when you got those one-liners that you can throw right back. If I'm ever in Las Vegas, I'm going to check you out. That's for sure. So we're going to wrap things up in just a few minutes, actually. I wanted to stick around just long enough to help our friend Goldie get through her work shift. Congratulations to Apples on the big PR. Eric Lapointe says, Squirrel Sniper, by breaking a pattern every time. Not a pattern. I'm going to have to think about that one. But I bet you that Squirrel Sniper has a pattern for breaking patterns that seem like a pattern. Squirrel Sniper reminds me of Batman. He has a contingency plan in place for everything. Let's see. This was held for review. I'm going to go ahead and put it up. Another moderator just handled it. Let's see. Since you're bald, you look like the Nazi that kept burning himself on the ovens. Yep, actually, you used that one. That's why it was held. It will always held. YouTube will always refrain from anything with a Nazi reference in it. Let's see. Team has to go. Thank you. You're welcome, my friend. Anytime. Wolf says, my apologies, team. I misunderstood. It's easy to do. That's why when he first came in and a lot of people jumped on team and said, that's not the way to, do things here. This was at 5 o'clock in the morning for me. That it's important to see where things go. Ride it out. I don't have a high opinion of myself. Why shouldn't I laugh at myself? Doesn't mean that I don't cherish myself. There's a difference. Man, I gotta admit, the Spider-Man version that was written by a regular spider is classic. Muhammad says, okay, guys, I will go right now with my beautiful wife, by Eric, Goldie, Milka, and you, my good friend, and all beautiful friends. Thank you, Muhammad, for spending some time with us. My love to your wife and your beautiful daughters. Hope to see you soon, my friend. Sniper says, Sniper has at least 2 forms of escape plan. And he is a squirrel sniper. I suspected as much. Apple says you might already know, but have you heard the good thing, bad thing, who knows story? I'm sure you already know the message of it, but love the story and it changed my life a lot. I have. I've heard lots and lots of different versions of it. I've heard Taoist versions and Zen versions. I've heard Hebrew versions. And it's the same wisdom. However, in whatever tradition that it's told, we simply don't know. If we could reside in that uncertainty and allow it, we'd be so much more at peace in every single moment. Runner Boy says, what's up, guys? Runner Boy, how are you? You going live this week? Runner Boy, and whether he's going live this week. And then we're going to call it a day. I think Goldie should be just about ready to wrap it up. Runner Boy is going live on Thursday. What's it going to be on Thursday? Deadlifts again? And when are we getting the big bench? Runner Boy just hit a big bench PR. Hey, Apples, if you click on, well, I don't know if it's going to work. If you look up Runner Boy, another training channel that I think you'd really like. Let's see. Runner Boy says, yes, Deads. Jacob says, you're a beast, Runner Boy. Keep it up, brother. Yeah, he is a beast. And he says that, I don't know when the next video will be. Could be the next one. I need to see what I'm posting. Love seeing those big PRs, man. So Apple says, I took a screenshot so I can sub later. Awesome. Yeah, I think he's a very, he's an insightful trainer. And it's all planned out. He's got his pull-up rings up. Awesome. I need to think about doing some ring work again. Maybe introducing ring dips again. It's been a while. Apple says, I just started deadlifting squatting, and I am slowly becoming Quadzilla. It's a great feeling. Nothing like a hard set of squats, man. Nothing like a hard set of squats. And if you check out Runner Boy, you'll see it is ass to the grass. Every rep. And I don't see how someone comes by and critiques your form, Runner Boy. Picture perfect. Runner Boy says, grips a lot harder, so I need to get some chalk. So, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to do my little bit of breath work with my mala beads, and then make a little something to eat. Last meal for the day. Very light. Next meal will be at about 7 o'clock in the morning. Gordy says, thank you for the lovely live and chat. Thank you for being here, my friend. Much appreciated. Actually, thank you all for being here. Sister Destiny, as I sit and eat, I got your video up that I'm looking forward to watching all the way through. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for that. Eric Point says, another great live. Thank you, my friend. Get a goodbye from Runner Boy. Apple says, thanks for the live stream again, McCarty. You're welcome, my friend. I'll mention once again, if you're bored, nothing to do, I'll be back in about two-ish hours or so to close down the night. Get a salute from Jacob and a salute back. Jacob's another hard trainer. Check him out. As well as Leo said so. As well as Eric Lapointe. Elites. Best of the best. Looking forward to hearing from Squirrel Sniper. Today's burpee day. Another big thank you to Goldie. Another big thank you to Destiny. Team. Appreciate your humor. Wolf, my prayers to you and Barb. AC&C was here and very much appreciate her company, as well as our friend Babushka. If you notice, there was a smile on my lips when I said Babushka. And Muhammad is with his family in Turkey. Big thank you to Ahmed. Big thank you to Bumblebee T. She's the one who inspired me to talk about the Love Tuner. And Flower was here for a while, but I think she fell asleep. But I'm glad that she was here. And I'm glad that she fell asleep. So, guys, for those that I missed, I'm not leaving off Mocha. I'll be talking to her through the evening, at least on messaging. Thanks, guys. That's it. I'll see y'all later.